everyone, and welcome back to the Bible. Each week we've read out one chapter of the book of John. This is the final chapter of John. God knows what we're going to do next. You're welcome to make suggestions. I actually haven't figured that out yet. If not, I'll come up with something. But yeah, so if you're interested and have been following the Gospel of John, stay tuned for the final chapter. If you aren't interested, that's okay. Hope you continue to enjoy all the other videos. And apologies that they have been a bit sporadic of late with all the craziness of getting sick. But everything should be back on track shortly. Alright. More X coming in tomorrow. Yeah. Anyway, back to Bible. Let's do it, shall we? Later, Jesus appeared again to the disciples beside the Lake of Galilee. This is how it happened. A group of us were there. Simon Peter, Thomas the twin, Nathanael from Cana in Galilee, my brother James and I, and the other two disciples. And two other disciples. Simon Peter said, "I'm going fishing." "We'll come too," we all said. We did, but we caught nothing all night. At dawn we saw a man standing on the beach, but couldn't see who he was. He called, "Any fish, boys?" "No," we replied. Then he said, "Throw out your net on the right-hand side of the boat, and you'll get plenty of them." So we did, and we couldn't draw in the net because of the weight of the fish. There were so many. Then I said to Peter, "It is the Lord." At that, Simon Peter put on his tunic, for it was strapped to the waist, and jumped into the water and swam ashore. The rest of us stayed in the boat and pulled the loaded net to the beach, about 300 feet away. When we got there, we saw that a fire was kindled and fish were frying over it, and there was bread. "Bring some of the fish you've just caught," Jesus said. So Simon Peter went out and dragged the net ashore. By his count, there were 153 large fish, and yet the net hadn't torn. "Now come and let's have some breakfast," Jesus said. And none of us dared ask him if he was really the Lord, for we were quite sure of it. Then Jesus went around serving us the bread and fish. This was the third time Jesus had appeared to us since his return from the dead. After breakfast, Jesus said to Simon Peter, "Simon, son of John, do you love me more than these others?" "Yes," Peter replied. "You know I am your friend." "Then feed my lambs," Jesus told him. Jesus repeated the question, "Simon, son of John, do you really love me?" "Yes, Lord," Peter said. "You know I am your friend." "Then take care of my sheep," Jesus said. Then once more he asked him, "Simon, son of John, are you even my friend?" Peter was grieved at the way Jesus asked the question this first time. "Lord, you know my heart. You know I am," he said. Then Jesus replied, "Then feed my little sheep. When you were young, you were able to do as you liked and go wherever you wanted to. But now you are old. You will stretch out your hands, and others will direct you and take you where you don't want to go." Jesus said this to let him know what kind of death he would die to glorify God. Then Jesus told him, "Follow me." Peter turned around and saw the disciple Jesus loved following, the one who had leaned around at supper that time to ask Jesus, "Master, which one of us will betray you?" Peter asked Jesus, "What about him, Lord? What sort of death will he die?" Jesus replied, "If I want him to live until I return, what is that to you? You follow me." And so the rumor spread among the brotherhood that the disciple wouldn't die. That disciple would not die. But that isn't what Jesus said at all. He only said, "If I want him to live until I come, what is that to you? I am that disciple. I saw these events and have recorded them here, and we all know that my account of these things is accurate. And I suppose that if all the other events in Jesus' life were written, the whole world could hardly contain the books." And that is the end of the Gospel of John. Interesting symmetry, of course. Jesus asking Peter 3 times, "Do you love me?" To mirror with the 3 times that Peter said that he didn't know Jesus. I hope that it's been very revelational. Is that a word? I hope it's been very food for thought for you. If you've got any questions about God or Jesus or anything, I'm happy to answer them. Otherwise, yes, that was the Gospel of John. So now you know about a little bit about how Jesus went around and how he lived, and he isn't quite the caricature that most people would have you believe. He's a bit more direct, and sometimes a bit less direct. He's a person, you know. He's got a character. Anyway, thanks for being with me on this journey. It took me a bit longer than 21 weeks to get through it all. It's funny how real life always tries to hit on a Sunday night when I'm meant to be doing these recordings. Like tonight, actually. I had to sort myself out. But anyway, glory to God above all things, and God bless.